Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here, back again with another video for you guys today. Today we're going to be going over a bunch of different stocks, and because of that I'm not going to be able to do an entire deep dive in each and every stock on this list just because of the interest of time, but you're going to get my personal opinions on each and every single stock, as well as where I see the entire stock market go. So stick around towards the end of the video, leave a like on the video as well, and drop a comment down below if you guys missed me, because it's been about a week since my last upload. We did a little moving. I had a nice wedding for my cousin. Well, I didn't have the wedding, but he had a wedding that I attended, and yeah, I honestly just didn't really feel like making videos. So anyways, we're back here with another video. And yeah, if you guys wanted to join my Discord, that link is down below in the description. Check it out. We talk about stocks. That's been active this whole time that I haven't been here, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the first stock we're going to be looking at is PROG. So PROG, P-R-O-G. This is a stock that, well, it had a nice rally, and so you can see it started off under $1 before this whole rally, and there's a few different stocks. CEI is another one that's been like that as well, where this one has dumped off as well. And Emerald, I mean, this one was at $5, but the common theme that we have been seeing is that these stocks, here's another one that starts under $1. We've been seeing these stocks that start under $1 start pumping, right? And CEI was the first one. I believe there was a lot of Twitter influencers in on that one, but PROG was the second one. And you can see right here on PROG, there was a huge candle yesterday, and after that candle you should have been scared, in my opinion. Yes, it was up today in pre-market, but whenever you see a huge engulfing candle like that and it just dips right down below, obviously it was using that 25 moving average, that blue line right there, as support, and it just sent it right through that, just cut it right in half, then that is definitely a sign that a rug pull just occurred. So we've seen this before by analyzing the options chain on some of these stocks. You can see if there's a lot of short call options, you know that, oh, maybe a whale is dumping their call options, and that's why the price is getting sent down. But in this case, there's no options. I don't believe there were options at first. I checked the option chain yesterday and there wasn't any selling. So someone who got in here with a lot of shares must have dumped off their shares right there. And that's the only real explanation. It was a pump and dump to some extent. People don't like that term, but someone bought here and then someone with a lot of shares dumped here. That's the only explanation for what exactly happened. People continued to be bullish. People saw it as a discount, but you can't see those things as a discount when there's an engulfing candle that engulfs almost to an entire day of price action to the upside. Then that is probably a sign that it's going down. This is also looks like a double top type of pattern. I'm not going to go too deep into just looking at technical patterns, but it's just clear that this is now in a downtrend, and if it does rally, it'll probably start selling off by the time it hits this blue line. Yes, a lot of people love these stocks, but I just can't give it my blessing. CEI is another one where we actually called the top in Discord when it hit to $4.30. I can probably look it up right now. So yeah, I called it out here in Discord on 9/29. CEI just topped. We won't see above $4.30 again. You guys can see if we go back to 9/29, this is basically where we saw $4.30, and I was pretty much correct. It basically, I mean, it went up above that one more time over here on 9:30, but ever since then it has been going down. And pretty much the way that you want to trade these is ride it on the way up, maybe buy it on the 25 moving average when it hits that blue line, because that's when it seems to pump, right? It's been using that as support the whole time up, and you guys should have noticed this on 10-1. As soon as it breaks below that 25 moving average, it gets sent into a downtrend. And then today we see this huge rug pull, right? It's down 46% today. Now with CEI, I'm pretty confident that there were a bunch of Twitter influencers that actually did get in on this stock around 30 cents, right? So at some point, it's like, is it a pump and dump or is it a short squeeze, right? Because if all these people bought in at 30 cents before it goes up, and then they're just saying it's a short squeeze, I mean, saying something is a short squeeze is great marketing, but I'm pretty sure CEI has about 0.05 days to cover, so the chance of a short squeeze actually occurring is very, very slim. So you have to take all of that into consideration. Seeing this thing go down 44% in a day, that's not buying a dip. That is, I think my camera's shaking. That is simply catching a dump, right? And there might be a dead cat bounce, right? It might come back up to $2.02, but the overall trend will be on the downside. Now, let's just take a look at BBIG and ATER. Sorry, this format of a video is a bit different. I just wanted to cover every single stock that we've been covering on this channel. So BBIG, you can see already, I drew in this line. So around $6 to $5.50, that is where BBIG has been finding support, right? And today it actually broke below that, so we're seeing a bit of a breakdown. But if we move this down a little bit, there you can see that's another place where it's found support around $5.70. So it's sitting around support right now. So how I would trade this is I would look at the options flow for today. I would see what exactly whales are doing around this price level, because we have seen a bump off of this price level 2 times already, right? And I predicted this one, right? This is where I was buying call options right here on 923 and on 922, and we predicted it, and we also said it would be a dead cat bounce. Now, I was giving it the benefit of the doubt. I thought it would actually potentially go back up to $9.50 per share, but it used that 200 moving average. So the 25 moving average and the 200 moving average, you guys can see, are great uses of support and resistance. You can see it right here in BBIG. 200 moving average was at $8 a share. That's where it pumped up to. That's where it saw a top, and I did call that dead cat bounce. A lot of people didn't like that call, but here we are sitting back at $5.70 per share. So it did give up all of its upside and actually did switch to puts right here on 927, and I wrote it down for a little bit. I closed them early, but anyways, ATER is the same deal. We can see that today, this morning, it started at around $9.60, right? And it has this line, it has this support line that it's basically bounced off of multiple times now. And as long as it doesn't break that trend, right, you can see some upside if you do want to swing it. But if it does, as soon as we get a close that is way below, we'll move this line down just a little bit just to give a more accurate representation. As soon as you see a close below $9 per share, it is definitely going to get a little bumpy for ATER, in my opinion. Also, another thing about ATER and BBIG, I can't say that word. No volume anymore, right? Or there is volume, but not as much volume. And a lot of the time, this is momentum. This is retail buying more than a short squeeze. So you have to take into consideration that volume dying down. That is pretty much the easiest way to determine that momentum is dying down. So take all this into consideration when buying these momentum stocks. Don't necessarily think of them as short squeezes, because a lot of them just simply are not short squeezes. Simple as that. Other stocks on my watch list, obviously AMC. This one, if it's in the $33 to $35 range, it is definitely becoming a buy. There's no real sign that the long-term uptrend has been broken for AMC, and there is a good chance that we do see some upside in AMC in the coming weeks. Just based off of the technicals, obviously, I don't think AMC has a huge chance of a short squeeze either. Huge debate right there. Can get into it real deep. But, you know, AMC is probably the most manipulated stock, and I'm not taking into consideration failure to delivers, short interest that is being hidden in call options, and all of that. I'm just looking at the raw shares on loan data that is provided from me, and it doesn't look like just that raw data alone is going to be any big short squeeze inducing data, honestly. And I hate to say it, because AMC is the play, right? They shut down trading on January 28th. There's all this stuff going on with Citadel and Ken Griffin Griffin, hashtag Ken Griffin lied, but I'm just looking at raw data alone, and it does look good, at least on the technical side, if you did want to swing trade on AMC. So another stock that I have on my watch list right now is GoGo, or GOGO. If you guys have ever used GoGo in flight, that service that provides Wi-Fi on your flight, that's what GoGo is, right? And they recently had an Ortex short squeeze signal. They went all the way from $12.40 per share to $21.25 in after hours, but it really saw a top at about $19 per share. And the reason for this rally was a fundamental case. The company did increase their guidance, so they did say that they would have increased revenue going forward, but it also had that added boost from getting that Ortex short squeeze signal. A lot of retail traders jumped onto this stock. There was a few raised price targets, so I believe Cohen actually raised their price target to $23 per share, but I took the chance. Every time we saw a pop up here, I decided to add some puts, and I fully established a position, and I'm actually up pretty decently on those puts right now. We'll see, we'll reevaluate, but I do think that it will come back down to $15 per share, so I am going to be holding those puts. I'm not losing too much in theta right now. And yeah, I mean, that's just basically how I've been seeing a lot of these plays, you know, because I do see a lot of them as pump and dumps, not necessarily actual short squeezes, just because once you understand what exactly is going on in a short squeeze, you'll realize that none of these stocks can really do a short squeeze at this point. And I hate to say it, I hate to be that Kramer-like guy saying short squeezes are fake, but you know, you can make money on the downside. I mean, obviously if you shorted CEI, you would have made a ton of money today. It's back to $1.47. Once the music stops playing, guys, these stocks come back to earth. And we've seen it many times. Emeren is another example of that. I mean, this one had a huge squeeze back in the day, in June, all the way to $27 per share, and it got sold off all the way back down to $4.80 per share, and we're seeing a similar downtrend now, right? It went up to about $12 per share, it's back down to $7. So it's not really seeing the consistency that you want to see in a squeeze play. FAMI, this is another one that has been a bit of a pump and dump, right? You know, it's been going up. You can always ride it up, right? It goes up over a course of multiple days, and it saw a peak of 53 cents per share. Again, common theme, under $1 in share price. But now it's back down to 33 cents per share. And if you don't think what we're seeing right here is a downtrend, then you're blind. You're not buying a dip. You're buying into a downtrend currently. And I don't think you should really establish a position until there's an uptrend. I mean, just looking at the space right here between the blue line and the actual price action, there's a decent amount of space, right? And when it breaks below there, not too much space. Right here, lots of space. It's still an uptrend, right? But now here, we have lots of space underneath the 25 moving average, right? And now we're back to a point here where it has sold off a decent amount. It's down 10% on the day, and it's really far below that 25 moving average. So it's clearly in a downtrend. These are all momentum plays, and in the end, if it's dumping off, it's dumping off, and you should probably avoid that. Maybe catch it on a bounce. There's always the opportunity for a bounce, but it will likely be sold off again. And this is the same pattern that we see in every single play. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have learned something today. Always be careful when you're chasing these stocks. It's not free money. A lot of these stocks are not going to see a short squeeze. I'll put it plain and simple. You're going to see momentum that pumps up these stocks and makes them see new highs and makes them seem like they're going up every day. You know, 20% a day seems like this thing is going to continue to go to the moon, right? But once the music stops playing, they come crashing down to earth, and CEI is the perfect example of that. I'm sure some whale dumped an absolute ton of CEI stock today, right? One of those people that was talking about it, that bought in at 30 cents per share, and then they just started tweeting about it. They just started doing whatever. One of those people likely sold a huge chunk of their money, and they're cashing in on their followers. So it sucks, right? These are pump and dumps to some extent. And I'm just going to be blunt with you guys. Someone is buying these things, all of these meme stocks. Someone is buying them up before they start talking about them, before they start trending. And once you get them trending, then everyone else buys them because it looks like they're going up. They're going up. But the rug can be pulled from underneath your feet at any time. So it's always important that you take profits early on and often, right? If you get caught holding the bag, you're going to be down 49% in a single day because someone pulled the rug out from under your feet. So that is the biggest advice I can give you. I didn't go long on CEI, right? I saw it running. I was considering establishing a position for maybe a day or two, but I just didn't want to go long because it just seemed too risky, right? With a very low float and a very cheap price, someone could buy up a huge portion of the float for not as much money. Like, think about it. If the float is 10 million shares, right? And it's only 30 cents per share. You could buy up a huge chunk of that float compared to something that has the same float, 10 million shares, but it's $10 per share, right? If it's 30 cents per share, you can buy up a huge chunk of that float. Pray to God that it doesn't change the price too much, and then you just tweet. You just send a tweet. You say it's going to short squeeze, it's going to go to the moon, and then the shorts are going to pay. Screw the shorts, right? You have to say screw the shorts because the shorts are the ones who are stealing all of your money, right? And once you say screw the shorts, then retail's like, I hate those hedgies. I need to screw those shorts. I need to get my bag. And then the retail will go up. They're going to buy up the stock. The stock will go up 20% one day, might stay flat the next day, then it keeps rallying. But then the guy who originally bought it for 30 cents, he has all of these shares. So it's basically like diluting current shareholders once they put those shares back on the market because there's more supply, more supply on the market. And there's a lot of collusion as well. People will group up with different people who have lots of followers. And I've seen this on Twitter before. We've exposed a pump and dump scam from a Twitter influencer before on this channel. So just be careful. Don't just buy something because someone who has a lot of followers says something, because they might be making money, but you might not make money. And just because they're making tons of money doesn't mean you can too, because they got in early and you're getting in after they tweeted it. So be careful, guys. Be smart. Have a trailing stop loss if you are riding these things up. And yeah, just be careful. That's all I got to say. I know it's a little bit of a rant, but I want you guys to be safe with your investments and not lose and not hold the bag and not just think everything's a short squeeze when it's not, because it's not. And it's a pump and dump. All right. So that's all I got for the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. And that's about it. See you guys later. Peace.